Imagine the iron claw being heated and used to rip off women's breasts, tearing the flesh down to her ribs. This was the breast ripper. The West used it on unwed mothers, women accused of adultery, or those who tried abortions. We are taught that Western age of enlightenment pioneered human rights. But look beneath the surface and you will find a brutal reality. Take the school's bridle. Under early English and Scottish law, if a woman argued in public, gossiped, or talked back to men, she was labelled a common scold. Her punishment was an iron cage locked onto her head. A flat metal plate with sharp spikes was forced inside her mouth to pin down her tongue. If she tried to speak or swallow, the spikes ripped her mouth apart. Then her husband would lead her through the crowded streets on a rope while people spit on her and threw trash. If iron didn't stop her, water did. Local town councils used taxpayers' money to build the ducking stool. This was a wooden chair tied to a long pole. Troublesome wives were tied with metal straps to this chair. Then they dipped it over and over into dirty river or sewage holes. This was not a fast death, but a way to terrify them. Women suffered from severe shock, hypothermia, and often drowned in human waste. And when it came to alleged witchcraft, the tests became lethal. In his 1597 book, Demonology, King James I of England promoted swimming a witch. And the logic? Water is holy, so it would reject a witch. The test was pure torture. They stripped the woman to her underwear, tied her right thumb to her left big toe so she could not swim, and then threw her into deep water on ropes. If she floated, she was guilty and killed by hanging or burning. If she sank, she was innocent. But many innocent women drowned before they could even be saved. In the late 19th century London, a law explicitly banned husbands from beating their wives between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. Think about that. The legal minds decided that a women's scream were a public nuisance that woke the workers. If a man wanted to beat his wife, the state mandated that do it during the day. This matched the famous rule of thumb, validated in the Western courts, including an 1868 US ruling, which allowed a man to whip his wife with a stick as long as it was no thicker than his thumb. These orders were not random. They were paid for by towns and made legal by top judges. These leaders used their power to trap women. Before the West lectures the world on morality, it must answer for a legal system that for centuries focused on taming women. Was the West really progressive, or were they just better at hiding the scars?